What's going on, Neon Nation, and welcome back to the Neon Arcade for some more Cyberpunk 2077 lore. Today we're talking about Johnny Silverhand's ex-girlfriend Alt Cunningham, the Soulkiller program, and Arasaka Corporation. Alt Cunningham is one of the most famous netrunners in the Cyberpunk lore, not only due to her relationship with Johnny Silverhand, the lead rock star of the band Samurai, but of her creation of the beta version of the Soulkiller. First developed in 2013, this free-roaming black program became one of the deadliest net-based programs by the 2020s. The Soulkiller is described in the short story Never Fade Away as a, quote, AI super routine that can track an intruding netrunner's cyberlink. It tears out a cyber pirate's brain with brutal force, recreating it in a frozen storage matrix inside of a mainframe. The word on the street is that the Soulkiller may be the closest thing to hell on earth, and in these days, that's saying quite a lot. In the same short story, Alt Cunningham is kidnapped by Arasaka thugs Toshiro and Akira after she's seen walking with Silverhand after a gig. They take her back to Arasaka Towers to their lab, where Toshiro and Akira start to probe her about her work on the Soulkiller program and demand that she further develops this black program for Arasaka, threatening torture if she does not comply. Now you might ask why this program was even invented in the first place. The original Soulkiller was going to be a means to contain artificial personalities and the transfer of these AIs from a storage matrix into the real world. Effectively, this would bridge the net and real world for these AIs, and using this both ways, at least to Alt, was the key to immortality. As an aside, remember that Johnny resides on an immortality chip, and Alt is behind the Blackwall in 2077, which is 57 plus years later. Coming back to Arasaka, however, they want this technology weaponized into the black program, the Soulkiller 3.0, to be able to track and entrap netrunners in this matrix, leaving their body a mere husk behind in the meat world. As Silverhand and his friends siege Arasaka Towers to save Alt, Alt is currently jacked in working on the Soulkiller updates, being monitored by Arasaka's henchmen. Having finished this version for Arasaka, she's then entrapped by Toshiro after he runs the program to ensnare her within the Soulkiller to dispose of her since she's no longer needed. Alt, however, has thought a few steps ahead and pulls the access codes to the mainframe's inner levels, where she steals data, pulls Toshiro's signature, and funnels 20 million into a sub-account under her name. Accessing the surveillance and defense systems, Alt sees the Arasaka tech netrunners slumped over in chairs, as well as Akira. She triggers the room lasers and slices the beefy bodyguard in two and threatens Toshiro that if he moves, he will suffer the same fate. She channels back into the Soulkiller construct, gathering herself to transfer back into her own body, but as this happens, Silverhand and his crew break through, sieging the room. Toshiro ends up toppling the cyber deck and breaks Alt's connections, trapping her in the program. As Toshiro is shot by Silverhand, he picks up Alt's lifeless body, with her true essence forced to watch this scene from her digital prison. As we know, this leaves us with a lot of unanswered questions that will lead us into Red and 2077, knowing that both of these characters, the immortality chip, the Blackwall, and Arasaka, are all dominant so far in what we know about the story and the world. As always, thank you guys for watching, and for more Cyberpunk lore, join Neon Nation by hitting that subscriber button.